Hello everyone, and welcome back to Let's Play Bound by Flame. I really wish that GOG lets you disable the screen or remap the screenshot button. It's my recording button, and they don't let you adjust it. I never thought I'd find something I could identify about Steam that is superior to GOG, but there you go. Last time we made it through the path to Valvenor in the swamp. It had two other exits, so I'm sure we're going to be back there. But for now, we're going to explore our first actual city. Could be interesting. Let's speak to Private Bumpkin.
My respects, General, sir.
I am not a general.
Do I look like a general?
I don't know, General, sir.
If I'm asking you that, it probably means that I'm not.
Well, it could be a test to see if I'm being a good soldier, General, sir.
Then you flunked the test. You are crap at recognizing rank.
They never taught me that, General, sir. Plus, I don't see so good, General, sir.
Is there a boss guard to help you with that?
Yes, General, sir. He posted me here and said to deal with it, General, sir.
This village is condemned, and without a doubt it is better thus.
All right, we're not going to waste all day on this, and stop calling me General, sir. My name is Vulcan.
Understood, General Vulcan, sir.
I suggest you roll with it. Congratulations on your promotion, General.
Yeah, thanks. Whatever. Forget about it, soldier.
I'd like to know more about Valvenor in the area here.
I would like you to give me some information about the village.
What do you think of your superior?
What do you think of the boss guard?
General, sir, Boss Guard Mason, he is a good boss. He is, competent and,
Be honest, soldier. The one thing I hate is a liar.
it's just I don't want any trouble, General, sir.
You won't get any. I'm asking you this because I trust you, and nobody else will ever know.
Okay, General, sir. Because the thing is, well, Boss Guard Mason, I guess I don't think he is a very good boss, General, sir. He insults us all the time and never shows us how to do nothing. He spends all his time drinking like a chamber pot instead of doing his patrols.
Drinking like a chamber pot?
Please, I don't even want to know. Thanks for the information. It'll stay just between us.
What can you tell me about the steward?
What do you think about the steward?
The steward? Well, I don't know much about him, General, sir. But before the war, when he took care of the hunting lodge, he used to come and buy vegetables from my grandparents. But they didn't like him much. He always spoke to them like he thought they was scum.
Have you had any problems with the refugees?
All these refugees, are they causing any trouble?
Well, it's true there is a lot of them, so that means a lot more work for us. Sometimes one of them will try to sneak in and steal some food, but we don't never let them do that. Then again, we can't get too mad at them either. It's all because of the war. Those people are just like us, more or less, except that they lost everything. And sometimes they help us too. A couple have even joined the guard when the boss thought they was good enough. Plus there's Renko. Well, he fixed up my granddad's spade. He's a real nice guy, that one.
I see.
What do you know about the swamps?
You stand in front of the swamps every day. You must know a lot about them, right?
Oh, not that much, General, sir. I never set foot out there. It's way too dangerous. Boss Mason posted me at this here gate, and that is just fine with me. There's lots of monsters out there. I can hear them, and that's enough for me. And even when there's no noise, I hear the whispering and well, that's even worse.
The whispering?
Yes, General, sir. Sounds like my own mama's voice sometimes. Except that she's been dead these past 5 years. Plus, I can't make out one word she's saying. And that don't make no sense. Mama and me always understood each other.
I see.
Let's change the subject.
Let's change the subject.
See you later, soldier.
See you later, soldier.
Alright, well, he had some actual information. I appreciate that. That's just debating me. We can't actually go that way. Alright, we can go down into the camp here. Which I'm pretty interested in doing before we head this way to do main questing. Let's head on down. Alright. Can't speak to everyone, it seems. Three leather and a health potion. Agartha and Hugbert.
It's on account of that Nigella, ain't it? I take one look at her, and suddenly it's the end of the world. It's on account of...
Agartha.
Are you okay?
Not saying anything, huh? Gemstone, that's nice. I changed my mind. Let's look in here. Two leather, two heart dust. Yeah, this is gonna go to a different zone, I think. Yeah, that's the center of the village. I want to explore the refugee camp first. Can't talk to him. Two leather, mana potion, and an exploding trap. Nigella.
You could at least answer when I ask you a question.
Meliev.
Hello.
Okay, there's something going on with some of them. They're sick or something. Two gemstones. And I can't speak to them. Renko. Alright, well, let's speak to him.
A good day to you, soldier. I do believe that today is your lucky day.
What are you gonna try to sell me?
Really? What are you gonna try to sell me?
Sell? Oh, now you're trying to make me feel bad. No, unfortunately I have nothing left to sell. Other than some first-hand information that will surely be of use to you.
Information. What information?
Hey, you know what? Some kind of reward would be appreciated. It's just that with the war, we have so little left.
Give 20 gold pieces.
Here, take this. What do you have?
Apparently, the Red Scribes have found a way to win the war. They found someone capable of breathing fire, who's gonna burn up the Ice Lords just by looking at them.
I don't believe it. You took my money for that? You fucking with me?
I swear, it's true. Please, we're starving.
I'll let it slide this time, but don't you ever try to rip me off again, unless you're tired of using your hands.
I wanted to ask you.
I wanted to ask you,
Do you know the steward?
have you ever met the steward?
He came to see the refugees several times, but I never spoke to him. I got the impression he couldn't stand us. He's the boss and we're the little people, see?
Not too tough being a refugee?
Life of a refugee can't be easy.
I've been a refugee for years. 5 to be exact. All these years on the road. And believe me, it's never easy. But this village is a pretty good place. The healing house gives us food most of the time, and we're safe. That's not bad.
Things going okay with the guards?
How are things going with the guards?
No, we don't see them too much around here. They're basically here to guard the village. They don't give a shit about the refugees, so they keep their distance. And I hope for the steward's sake that he's not counting too much on them to keep him safe. I've seen lots of soldiers on the road, but as useless as them, never.
Let's change the subject. Right, I'm going.
Right, I'm leaving.
Another gemstone. This looks interesting. I can sleep? Oh, nice. Oh, I can move time through the day-night cycle. That's pretty good. That'll be handy, I think. 22 gold and 2 raw metal. I was holding on to raw metal for something, or looking for raw metal for something. I needed it for whichever spolders I wanted. Right, because I needed refined metal. I don't have enough yet. Good to know. Henriette.
Anybody home?
Southern Delta. Okay. We got 2 ways to get there. That can come in handy. Oh, what's up, Buffalo?
Oh there, Powder Man. You still didn't manage to blow yourself up?
This village is pretty quiet, huh? I'll be right back. I'm gonna grab a beverage. Just got thirsty. This village is pretty quiet, huh?
Pretty quiet around here, huh?
Yeah, too quiet for my taste. Do you really imagine the Deadwalkers are going to forget about this place just because this swamp is dangerous?
No. But it'll slow them down. Maybe we'll see them coming.
Ha! You can bet your ass they're already here. There's something in the air that stinks, and I don't mean the locals either. I feel like the Ice Lords are watching us. Right now.
I have a few questions for you.
I have a few questions for you.
How are the Freeborn Blades holding up?
How are the Freeborn Blades holding up?
We left some blood on the stones in the temple, but most of the company got away all right. But if we don't get some new recruits soon, things are gonna get serious. The captain has sent some men ahead to Karalthas. I hope they manage to pick up a few recruits, and they're not too scabby.
Is there anybody in this village worth recruiting?
See for yourself. There isn't a single man amongst the guards or the refugees that knows which end of a sword you're supposed to hold. We'll just have to wait. And be careful.
Well, you made it out of the temple again.
So, you made it out of the temple then?
I did. I suppose my time's not up yet. I guess that'll cause more gossip amongst the youngsters. The eternal survivor. My balls. There are some days when I wish it would be over.
I tell you, you'll be the one that buries all of us.
Do you think we can win against the Deadwalker army?
Do you think we can win against the Deadwalker army?
Against the Deadwalker army? No chance. Now, the Ice Lords, that's another question.
What do you mean?
Only that sometimes you have to try to chop off the head, you know? That bunch of walking corpses wouldn't be any trouble at all if there was no one to guide them.
I guess you're right, but I don't think that makes the task any simpler.
There was a time way back, you know, when there were so many of us in the company, several hundred, that the captain decided to delegate. So he chose 2 lieutenants. Those 2 assholes fought over how to share out the men for weeks. They both wanted to take the best men for their group. And the result? We had our asses handed to us by an army that was hardly more numerous than we were. I guess what I'm trying to say is that the Deadwalkers are just the same. You've got 7 bosses, and each one of them wants to control everything.
So if we were able to set them against each other...
Now you're thinking straight. I don't know how we could do it, but I'm sure that it's possible.
Let's change the subject. See you later.
See you later.
Well, let's head through here. Another gemstone. And we head to the center of the village. Hey, refined metal. How many did I need? It was a lot. It was like 8, right? Yeah. Still, we're getting there. Gold and 2 raw metal. Okay, I can craft a refined metal. I'd like to. Hey, it's Mason.
Yeah, who are you? One of them fucking mercenaries, right?
Fucking mercenary, yeah. Sounds about right.
You know what I call your lot? Ore blades. I got no time for ores.
We're all in the same shit. Mercenary or whatever.
We're all in the same boat. Mercenaries, refugees, useless guards. We're all fighting the Deadwalkers.
You mean until the Ice Lords make you a better offer, get lost, ore blade? Stupid Rick. You again? I thought I made myself clear. I got no money to employ you. Now fuck off.
Alright. Well, he's charming. Gold, steel, and heart dust. Mirana.
My goodness, let's see. You're not pissing blood, you're not vomiting your guts out. Both legs are in place and they seem to be holding you upright. Congratulations. It looks like you'll pull through. And now you'll excuse me, but I have other miracles to accomplish, and not much time to devote to people in your condition.
Do I look like a refugee? Excuse me for bothering you.
I don't want to take up too much of your time, but I'd like to speak with you.
Are you wounded?
No.
Are you a refugee dying of starvation?
Hey, I'm a mercenary. We're always hungry.
Why don't you go roast a Chris alien and come back and see me when you're twisted in pain?
Alright.
You again? I told you I'm very busy. Now leave me alone.
I'm trying to be nice to these people. They're actively making it hard. Alright, well. Let's keep heading this way, I guess. Three leather and a health potion. How's my carry weight? 28.3. It's still fine. Jervis. Oh, another non-responsive one. Upgrading equipment. You can upgrade every piece of gear you own in the equipment menu. Be sure to keep the components that can be useful to you. Hasael.
Here we go. Another one of these hick refugees. There's nothing for you here.
I'm a mercenary.
Open your eyes, Smithy. I'm one of the freeborn blades.
Of course. I'm guessing you have need of my precious services. Alas, nothing that would truly put my talent and virtuosity to the test, I'd imagine. Such is the sad lot of the true artiste in times of war. So, what can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about the village.
I need more info about Valvenor.
And you have decided that I have a sympathetic face. It's the story of my life. Talent worthy of a king's ransom, but surrounded by cretins who only seek that which is free.
What can you tell me about the steward?
What can you tell me about the steward?
Oh, don't expect me to say anything bad about Bertolf Chambriad. I'm not always in agreement with him, but I can see that he knows his business. And he keeps the village relatively safe.
Are there a lot of elves in these parts?
It's not often you see an elf blending in with other cultures. Are there many of you here in Valvenor?
To my knowledge, I was the only one. That is until Prince Arundel and his acolyte arrived. Does that pose a problem for you?
Not at all.
Well, it does for me. His Majesty the Prince of Imbeciles is going to bring us nothing but trouble.
Do you know the healing house woman?
Do you know the woman who runs the healing house?
Oh, of course. She's all one hears about lately. Everyone here will tell you that she's a courageous woman, fighting a noble battle. Everyone but me. The woman's insane. There are already far too many mouths to feed in this camp. Clearly, she's fully aware of this, yet she stubbornly insists on making things worse.
What do you know about the Red Scribes?
And the Red Scribes? Know anything about them?
Oh, certainly. A boring bunch of fusspots, spreading science and preaching the good word while never suspecting that anyone might see through their little game.
Our game? Well, pray tell, give us the details. Please, give us the benefit of your extensive knowledge.
I don't pretend to know about all their little plots. I spend very little time with them, and frankly, I couldn't possibly care less about them. But I am fully aware that pretty speeches serve no better purpose than manipulating minds. They're nothing more than noisy masks behind which hides a reality that is far uglier. The more the melody is sweet, the better it distracts you. And is there anything more disgustingly melodious than the discourse of a Red Scribe?
When it comes to disgusting discourse, you seem to be something of an expert.
And the Red Scribes?
Oh, certainly.
Our game.
All right.
When it
Those are the same. Let's change the subject.
Let's talk about something else.
Show me what you have for sale.
Show me what you have for sale.
Ah, gold. So vulgar to work with. So wonderful to own.
All right. He's got an axe called Impaler, a sword called Pain, a hammer called Iron Grip, daggers called Crafty, Should boost my crit chance and ability to interrupt, and physical damage and ability to interrupt would stay the same. I'd lose 1 act raw damage. I don't think I'll be buying that. Elven Cuirass. -2. Add magic resist. Legionary's gauntlets. -. Swordsman's boots. Elven helm. Well, considering I have no helmet at all, that's probably pretty good. He also sells refined metal. Alright, I'll buy the helmet. And I need 6 refined metal to do the upgrade I wanted. I'll do that right quick. Very good. And then I can do trap damage or poison resist. I guess I'll do poison resist. I've already got what I need for that too. Nice. Groovy. Okay. Well, I think that was fairly productive. Here's the other entrance from the refugee camp. Gold and raw metal. Raw metal and a health potion. Nice. Okay. And then we got 3 different entrances to the village hall, apparently. Leather, mana potion, exploding trap. Elven Greaves. Let's see. Minus, adds magic resist. And you can looks like the upgrades for each piece are always the same. I'm just gonna recycle this. I'm not interested. Very nice. Cool. Go to former inn. Alright, so that's a whole different map. Raw metal, gemstone, heart dust. Gold and raw metal. Go to the stocks. It's a graveyard. I wonder if the corpses are going to come out of there at some point. What do y'all think? Alright. Let's go ahead and go to the village hall. Yeah, let's do it.
Swamp is our best defense. Happily, the wildlife are just as keen on attacking the Deadwalkers as they are the villagers. But the situation here in Valvenor grows worse daily. And each new wave of refugees increases the risk of drawing unwanted attention to this jungle.
No Ice Lord scouts who find this village will ever escape to tell the tale. Of that, I can assure you. Also, my men are reinforcing your defenses. Forgive me for saying, but you have some serious weak points. Especially the defenses around that refugee camp of yours.
The arrival of the Freeborn Blades and the Red Scribes has greatly improved our chances of survival, Captain. Believe me when I say that we are most grateful to have you with us. Needless to say, your men and the Red Scribes are welcome and free to go where they will. But as for any other newcomers, our gates are closed. You must understand that our food stores are as limited as our abilities to defend our village. Until you arrived, we had but one person who was even vaguely capable of treating our injured. And the case of Prince Orendil was completely beyond her skills. And there is this beast story. Doubtless another fairy tale, the fruit of an alcohol-addled brain. Nonetheless, several of the Watch have gone missing. Something hidden in these swamps is causing these disappearances, but we cannot risk sacrificing any more of the few men remaining to us on sending patrols. Large groups entail moving chrysalids that are unmanageable. The others quite simply do not return.
Silence.
If I were to listen to everyone, I would need 10 times the number of men I have to verify the truth of every tale.
Enough. You must aid me to do this. I am not able to do that. Your endless wailings are unbearable.
In the name of Vulcan? But by the gods, man, what is...
This world is condemned. The cold hath invaded its ground, its souls, and its heart.
Interesting moment here.
Weaving your limbs like fish taken from the water. Miserably shuffling about to conserve the illusion of warmth and life, and not feel the passing of your last breath. While I must endure your wailings and lamentations. Pitiful.
Vulcan, stop this nonsense immediately.
It is not he who speaks. All doth fall to ruin about you. Yet you still bewail your loose bowels and vomitings. You cannot vanquish your dead walkers, no more than you can vanquish their necromancer masters. They draw their power from the very heart of the world. They drink it, they suckle it dry. Your only chance to cleanse what your own hath corrupted is to go to the World Heart and liberate it from its servitude.
The World Heart is a myth, a forgotten fairy tale, no more real than dragons or dwarves.
A myth. Continue hiding behind thy puny barricades, and thou wilt soon join thy myths and fairy tales.
Cease your pretense. I know you have returned to consciousness.
What the hell happened? I was just listening to the steward blabbing away with the captain, and then...
And then you lost control.
I don't know, it's like something in my head zapped me so it could use my mouth. But I was still there, still thinking what I was saying.
This is not the first time you have felt this presence manifest itself.
No. No, it's been there since the temple. It's also in my dreams. I think...
Interesting. It would seem that your body is host to some other entity. And it is clearly a spirit of fire.
No kidding. I got a demon in my head.
Something of the kind. In truth, I could not say what it is. Not yet, at least.
Don't make me laugh. After all, it's your disciples that let this thing out of its cage, right?
That has nothing to do with it. Do you have any idea of the implications of this incident?
I mean, I don't want to blow it off, but I don't want to be a dick about it either.
What? Just because I said some weird shit? Believe me, it's not the first time that's happened.
Obviously, you haven't understood. The thing that is inside you, it wishes you ill. There is not enough space inside you for two souls. That demon wants your body. It will control you more and more until it has replaced you completely.
Ha! Thou thinkest I crave the body of a mortal? I am a prisoner here. My place is in the world heart.
It will not hesitate to lie to you, to tell you that which you wish to hear, so that you will allow it to consume you.
I never asked for this cage. I never asked to be forced to hear thy every thought. It is I who have been invaded.
It speaks to you. Do not listen to it. Cast it from you. If you do not resist, it will crush your soul.
Hey, take it easy. One day at a time, okay? I'm gonna take a walk.
Talk to the steward about Valvenor's problems. Gladly.
Sybil.
Yes?
I'd like to...
What do you want to...
What you got to say, ALS? Oh yeah. We got to the captain and steward in the village hall. Find the lair of the werebeast. Problems of stewardship. Talk to the steward about Valvenor's problems. There are two, apparently. Oh wow. Assail. Assail is, by force of circumstance, the Valvenor blacksmith. He is eccentric and somewhat disagreeable. He is fulfilling the role unwillingly, bemoaning the days when he was a sculptor and artist. Mason. Mason is the leader of the Valvenor Guard. Tough and thick-headed, he is hardly friendly, and his troops are a model of incompetence. Nonetheless, by helping him out a bit, you may be able to gain his respect, and, more importantly, ensure that the Guard knows what to do in the event of attack. Renko. Renko came to Valvenor with other refugees some time ago. He is wily and smooth and uses his abilities to survive. His profession is completely different, though. Before he lost his forge card in the swamp, he was a blacksmith with unquestioned skill in the domain. The steward. The steward of Valvenor, Bertolf Chambried, just used to have to take care of a hunting lodge frequented by nobles in search of game in the marshes. But since the start of the war, this small lodge has received large numbers of refugees and been transformed into a small stronghold. Though not everyone is enamored of him, the steward has nonetheless managed to keep order in this disparate community and ensure that everyone has food and shelter despite all of the problems he encounters. Mirana. Mirana is Valvenor's healer and runs the dispensary, the widow of an elf doctor who was also her teacher. On his death, she continued his work, caring for wounded or sick refugees. Sometimes she violently disagrees with the steward, who wants to restrict refugee access to the dispensary. Alright, what's up, ALS?
I am busy, mercenary. Go do what you're getting paid for.
Well, alright then. Where even am I? That is apparently the steward. Go to Valvenor. This is where I walked in? It must be.
The Order of the Freeborn Blades is of great repute, and the mercenary does honor to its name. The mercenary's powers are both astonishing and fascinating. The knight would like to duel with the mercenary, that he may judge the mercenary's strength.
I don't have time right now.
It's not really the right moment, but if you want, we can talk about it later.
Fight Randval in single combat. Alright, hold on. I really gotta get my bearings here. Silban. Relmar. Alright, they're all here. Raw metal, heart dust, and a mana potion. See, I like all that. We already talk to Aeolus to the extent we can, anyway. Leather, health potion, exploding trap. Go to Valvenor. I don't quite want to do that. Bunch of stuff and a hammer. Stunner. Not interested. Oh, okay. So I can see all three entrances, which is nice. And this goes upstairs, where I've already been. Alright, alright. We're eliminating. It's good. It's downstairs here. I can sleep again. I can exit back to Valvenor. And speak to Liestus. Should probably... He's not marked.
Mercenary.
I need your help.
I need your help.
Have you heard about the beast?
According to the villagers, there's a beast haunting the swamp, and it's attacked them several times.
I have heard about it, yes. And although I don't have any concrete information about the creature, there are some things that corroborate what they say. Even though we aren't very good at magic. And since we came to the swamp, we have all felt a powerful source nearby. The problem is that the source seems distorted, corrupted. Kind of like the one the Ice Lords use, only not the same.
I hope for our sake you're right about that. Otherwise we're really up shit creek.
We are very certain of it. But this magic could very well have transformed one or more creatures in the swamp, making them more aggressive, bigger. Who knows? Something to frighten the villagers, in any case.
So you're telling me the thing is magic and corrupted. Brilliant. Just what I needed.
Can I do something for you?
Can I do something for you?
No, thank you. I don't need anything for the moment.
I have a few questions. Tell me about your order.
Tell me more about your order.
Before the war, our main objective in Creed was to collect and save all kinds of knowledge. We had a presence everywhere on the continent, and had chapters in every major city. We studied and preserved all possible sources of knowledge there. We also dispensed information and care. Because even though we're not the greatest magicians, our knowledge let us come to the aid of the wounded and the sick. I could of course relate our history in detail for hours and hours, but I doubt that is really what interests you.
What can you tell me about the Ice Lords?
With all the knowledge accumulated by your scribes, you must have learned something about the Ice Lords, surely.
We do indeed know some of their secrets, and a good part of their history.
Anything we could use to fight them?
We thought we'd found a chink in their powers that our ritual was supposed to let us exploit. But you saw the result.
That's one way of putting it.
That said, I'm beginning to wonder if we haven't involuntarily brought about the conditions for their end.
I'm not following you.
What you have within you could well turn out to be their doom. Even if I don't have the faintest idea of how or why. And unfortunately, as long as we don't know more about it, we also have to fear that it might lead to our doom, too.
I'll be going now. Alright. Alright, so I'm trying to check things out. We got Randval, Aeolus, the steward, and Relmar all on the middle floor. Liestus on the ground floor on that side. I believe the upper floor was empty. I'm going to double check that right quick, but yes, it is. Sybil had nothing new to say. And this is interesting. Let's open this chest first. Mercenary's helmet. That's new. What's better? It adds poison resistance. I think the Elven helm's better. I will recycle that Mercenary's helmet. Alright, let's talk to Silban, and then to Relmar. In this room.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
I have some questions.
This guy's a merchant too. Do you have any idea about what's happening to me?
Do you have any idea about what's happening to me?
I'm afraid I may not be able to help you. Your condition is more due to magic than medicine. Your symptoms remind me of certain mental illnesses, where the subject has the impression he hears voices in his head.
And do these nutcases throw fire and have eyes that burn from within too?
You'd be surprised at what they can do. But obviously you're not like them. That being the case, if you study them, you might find some answers. In particular, I'm thinking of the fact that most of these poor madmen end up giving free rein to the darkest side of their personalities. Make sure that doesn't happen to you.
Who's the big snoring elf?
Who's the big snoring elf?
Show some respect, please. That's Prince Arundel.
And?
He's the son of the Elven King, leader of the last army standing against the Deadwalkers.
Yeah, okay. But he doesn't exactly look like he's ready to stand against anything just now. What's wrong with him?
From what I've been told, Relmar brought him here before we arrived. The prince and his men fell in an ambush. Without your friend, he wouldn't have made it out. Unfortunately, he was severely wounded and has probably been the victim of powerful magic. I'm trying to find a cure, but without much success for the moment.
Let's change the subject. Can I have a look at your stock?
Can I have a look at your stock?
Dude sells potions. Alright. I should really, I should use my traps, because they're really weighing me down, and I gotta focus on crafting stuff, too. But we'll cross that bridge when I come to it. Alright, let's talk to Relmar.
Vulcan, you must help me. The prince is dying.
Well, I'm happy to see that my talents as a doctor are finally being recognized.
There's no doubt an explosion would cure him of all his ills forever. But I was actually thinking about your connections with the Red Scribes. If you could speak to them, it would save me having the prince's death on my conscience.
I wouldn't exactly call myself a friend of theirs. But yeah, I could always give it a try.
I have a few questions I need to ask you.
I have a few questions I need to ask you.
Can you tell me some more about the elves?
Elves are pretty rare. I haven't had the chance to talk to many. Can you tell me more about your people?
We are born in the trees, eat only seeds, and we spend all the livelong day singing.
I get the feeling you're fucking with me.
Perish the thought. Well, it's just that we aren't that different from you humans, despite what one hears. Our civilization is obviously a bit older, so we have had the time to learn from our mistakes. We don't really live in the same rhythm as you do. We move a little slower, and most of us are prone to having at least some respect for the past. This is the reason why we never destroy anything, that we prefer to build on top of things.
I've heard that you're immortal.
I've heard that you are immortal.
That joke has lived for 15 generations. I will never get tired of it. No, we're not immortal. We live long lives, though. Much longer than you. We are resistant to poisons, rotten food, and toxic body odor, apparently. Unfortunately, these things do not make us immortal.
Don't you ever go to war?
Don't elves ever make war?
That's an impression we like to give other people. The fact is, we do go to war, just never against each other. You must understand that, given our long lifetimes, battles are fairly futile. This may well be what has motivated the choices of our king concerning the Ice Lords. But we certainly know how to fight, and you'll see proof of that soon enough.
So it's the prince who gives the orders?
So it's the prince who gives the orders.
The word orders may not be the best one. We do not submit nor obey easily. Our kings are a reference, wise men who can point out the way. They tend to guide us rather than give us orders. But to answer your question, it is his father, the king, who is the leader of our people.
Who is the prince?
The elf in the healing house. Is he really your prince?
He is Prince Arundel, the son of our king and heir to the Elven crown. Therefore, yes, he is our king.
How the hell did he end up here?
Prince Arundel led a detachment of the Elven army sent to harass the Deadwalkers. And when he reached Bastion, he fell into an ambush. I got wind of this trap, but by the time I arrived, it was too late. When I caught up to the prince, he was already wounded, and most of his soldiers were dead. Those who survived covered our retreat.
To here?
Yes. The route to Carolthas was too dangerous. I knew about this village and felt that it would be secure for at least a little while. As soon as he gets better, we shall leave for Carolthas. The remainder of the human and elven armies are gathering there. That is where the final stage of the war will be played out.
Where are you from?
You seem different from the other elves I've met. Where are you from?
Really? I seem different. And yet I have such pointy ears. And if you really want to know, I actually come from one of the most ancient and noble houses that exists. I'm even linked to the royal family. But I can assure you that I am sufficiently far down the line of succession to be in no danger of being crowned. And my reputation is no help either.
As far as bad reputations go, every mercenary has got one, so we're used to it.
Let's just say that I got into enough trouble to eventually be considered a traitor to my people. When I got involved in the war, I disagreed with decisions made by the king. He thought that this war, like so many others, would not last. That the conquests won by the Ice Lords would melt away like all the human victories before them had. But I thought differently. Right from the start of hostilities, I began to requisition certain resources I felt necessary for those doing the fighting. More food, more weapons, better armor. When my people discovered what I'd done, I was declared an outlaw, and many saw me as a thief, which, in a manner of speaking, I guess I was.
Yeah, they should have listened to you.
Bunch of cowards. If they had listened to you, we wouldn't be in this mess.
I've been telling myself that for years, but I do understand their point of view. It is flawed, but not entirely thoughtless. They have had some time to prepare their forces and to learn the strengths and weaknesses of the Deadwalker army. This knowledge might allow us to turn the tide of the war, even if it does seem too little too late at this point.
Do you know these swamps?
Do you know these swamps?
I've been in this area long enough to have explored a fair amount of it, actually. The region is rather inhospitable, which I suppose is a good thing under the present circumstances.
A good thing? You're out of your mind.
These swamps are a labyrinth. The Deadwalker scouts will never be autonomous enough to find their way to the village by themselves.
That means we should be fairly safe for the moment. At least until a general or an Ice Lord comes to town.
Except that recently, there has been a change in these swamplands. And I must admit that I no longer feel safe at all.
What do you mean?
Something is affecting the swamplands, corrupting the vegetation and the animals. And I have no idea what it is. But anything that grows or lives here could become a threat. So I strongly recommend that you watch where you put your feet.
Let's change the subject.
How's the prince doing?
So is the prince doing any better?
He is still in a coma. He doesn't seem much better, no.
I'm going to talk with the Red Scribes, Doctor. He might know of a cure.
Thank you.
Let's change the subject.
Alright, I'll leave you here.
I'll leave you here.
Talk to Silban. Okay. Silban. Silban is the Red Scribes healer. Well, detailed. Okay. Let's see, we still got that. The duel. Fight Ranvil in single combat. A cure for the prince. Talk to Silban.
Do you have any idea how to wake the elf prince up?
Unfortunately, I don't. I think I've tried just about every remedy I know, but nothing works.
Are you sure you've tried everything?
You said just about. I'm guessing that's not by chance?
It's true. There's one formula I haven't tried yet. An extremely powerful solution that requires a certain ingredient to make. An ingredient I don't have.
What is it?
A very virulent poison secreted by the chrysalid queen. But be careful you don't mix them up with the ones you usually see. I wanted to go looking for them myself, but the villagers stopped me. They say they're really dangerous. It seems they can be found along the road we took to get here. And apparently, they only come out at night.
I'll get you some.
Alright. I'll be going now.
I'll be going now.
Changing the time. You can change the time of day by going to the sleeping points indicated on your map by the hourglass symbol. Alright, well. That's backtracking, so let's go take care of it. Collect the components during the night. Alright, well. Let's wait until night, shall we? I have read that virtually every side quest in this game is missable. So when you get one, particularly if it's not directing you to a new area, if it's backtracking, you should just do it. Combine ingredients directly from the bag menu in order to obtain superior quality ingredients. Alright. Yeah, we know about that. For now, I just want to go return to the path to Valvenor and go collect the ingredients. Alright, let's go find chrysalid queens. That's exciting. Stealth mode. Oh. It shows me where they are. Isn't that convenient? Alright. I don't like that the HUD disappears every time I do one of those hops. I can't tell if I'm in stealth mode or not. But I'm guessing that extra large chrysalid I see is the queen. Oh no. Epic stealth mode fail. And it took me out of stealth mode when I quick loaded. I mean, fair enough. You know, you do you. Game. This feels like a very cheesable fight. And that's what I'm gonna do. Cheese the fuck out of it. He says. Before he fucked up the stealth and got spotted. A bunch of times. Alright, the queen is gonna see me at that approach angle, so I really don't like the parasites, because there's so little I seem to actually be able to do about them, but Let's go over here. I was about to say, which one did I aggro into attacking me? Oh, good. Yes, please, heal me up. It's 2 whole eliminations. I like it. Beauty. And the queen hits like a Mack truck if I let her. Uh-oh. Damn. Got greedy. Got greedy and got stuck. These are never good things. I love stealth mode. For a second, I thought it was actually letting me stealth mode. No such luck, it seems. Chrysalid Queen poison. One of two. That's a quest item. It's gotta be. This poison, extracted from a Chrysalid Queen, could prove to be a miracle cure for the prince's coma. Nice. Alright. Let's get in stealth. Let's go fight the other one. Definitely seen these fights before. I wonder if they show up as fights or not. No. Alright, this is where the other one is. Apparently. Oh boy. Alright, let's use a healing potion. Or two.
Take all this back to Silver.
Level 11! Very good. Alright, well... let's see how we're doing. Skills. I'm gonna go back into Ranger. Let's see. I need Deviousness and Raging Assault at level 3. To really beef up... Gift of the Viper, which I very much want to do. I've got 3 feat points. Let's acquire Colossus. Alright. Next 2 feat points, I'm going to take Mule and Lucky. I really don't even care about the rest of these. I mean, healer might be pretty good, but I'm spectacularly interested in more max health. Okay, so give the components to Sylvan. Simple enough. Let's go. I'm saying Sylvan's closest through this entrance. So let's go. I'm gonna keep Vulcan's light on full time since it doesn't interfere with my stealth anymore.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
So you getting on with the cure to wake up the prince?
So are you getting on with the cure to wake up the prince?
Unfortunately, no. Without the poison I told you about, I can't make it.
I brought you some.
Excellent. Just give me some time to prepare the cure and administer it to him.
It doesn't seem to be working. I was wondering too, a cure made from poison? If it kills him, you know you'll get it too, right, Doc?
A lot you know. Lots of cures are made from poisons. But I have to admit that for the moment, he's not responding to the treatment.
Shit. All that for nothing. Well, we tried.
I'll be going now. Give the components to Sylvan. Get 800 experience. Oh, well, we completed a cure for the prince. And that's a side quest done. Let's take care of the duel with Randval next. Go tell him I'm ready.
The knight heard talk of a troubling event that happened during the meeting between the mercenary and the steward.
Yeah, the short version is that I have a demon living inside of me.
A demon? The knight has never heard of such a creature. Should he be worried?
I have to get rid of it, but you can't help me.
I don't think there's anything you can do to help, but I have to get this thing out of me. I just can't risk keeping it.
The knight does not possess the requisite knowledge for this, but he will be honored to help search for it.
The scribes are working on it. It's their job, after all.
The knight does not completely trust these scribes, and he suggests that his friend do likewise.
I have a few questions I need to ask you.
What is the Order of the Ember Knights?
You mentioned the Order of the Ember Knights. What is that?
It is the order that the knight belongs to. They are the surviving warriors and honored soldiers of other orders that were lost during this war.
Oh, so it's kind of the Order of the Orphan Knights.
This name does not sound well to his ears.
Right. So you haven't always been an Ember Knight?
No. He was first a defender of the Algander Islands. Then he was a Templar of the Order of Burgeons, and then a Brother of the Rock, and then a Summer Tracker.
So all of those orders have been lost. That must have been hard.
He has lost many valorous companions in battle, and his heart is heavy with scars.
I'll bet. So what is the creed of the Ember Knights?
The knight has long searched for the answer. Now he knows it. To seek a glorious death and carry as many enemies as possible away with him.
That's kind of depressing.
Well, don't expect me to help you.
Don't you think there have already been enough deaths in this war? All right, you can follow me, but if you start acting like some kind of reckless idiot, I'll make sure that you die like a nobody, without glory or honor.
The knight will try to survive. He will await other battles in other places to accomplish his duty and his destiny.
Where are you from?
You're not from around here. Where do you come from?
The knight was born in the Algander Islands. It is a proud and savage place where the struggle against the wind and vicious neighbors makes a man strong. The Ice Lords attacked the islands years ago, long before the rest of Vertiel knew that the world was now at war. The clans were always fighting, but they fought together as brothers when the islands were threatened. And as a defender of Algander, the knight had the honor to be one of the first to fight. And with his brothers for a long time, he repulsed the invader. Some of the clan chiefs wanted to make peace with the Ice Lords, but the Ice Lords betrayed them, and the clans were decimated. Their numbers were sorely missed during the following battles, and in a few short months, the war was almost lost. The knight was sent by the surviving clan chiefs to the mainland to find allies. But time is a cruel master. When he returned to his homeland, the islands were buried beneath the ice.
So how did you finish up in Valvenor?
So how did you end up in the village of Valvenor?
When he saw that all his kin were slain, the knight was hungry for revenge and sought out battles to bathe his pain in blood. But in every battle, he lost more of his brothers in arms and faced an enemy that only grew stronger. The orders were always hazardous, with betrayals common and errors never-ending. Faced with these eternal difficulties and death, always more death, the knight lost his hope, and so he left the field of battle. He decided instead to take care of the war's victims, to protect them, even though he knew it could only last a short time. It is a final mission without any other hope but to give comfort and relief to a few innocent souls.
What do you think of the Red Scribes?
What do you think of the Red Scribes?
Their studies have made them blind. Only knowledge interests them. They show contempt for all else. Today they have the ear of the last surviving warriors. They do not deserve this honor, and their words are hollow.
So what did you abandon when you entered into the Order of the Ember Knights?
So what did you abandon when you entered into the Order of the Ember Knights?
The knight has already said he does not wish to speak of this.
This could be the last chance you get to talk about it.
This could be the last chance you get to talk about it.
It is true that tomorrows are becoming less likely. But the abandonment of the past means the forgetting of it. And it is often painful to dig through memories.
That's what you claim, but I can tell you're dying to talk about it.
Very well. Know then that the knight once had a family.
I suppose they must be dead. I'm sorry for your loss.
It was long ago. 15 years have passed since his wife and his 2 daughters were taken from him.
The Deadwalker army?
Yes. They were among the first victims when the Ice Lords attacked the Algander Islands. They were thought to be safe with the other women, far behind the front lines. But the Deadwalkers broke through our lines and stole away the innocents. The knight searched the enemy lines for days, but when he found them, he had to fight what the sorcerers had created from his wife and his children. A dread creature, multiple and monstrous. This was the most difficult fight of all his life.
Let's change the subject.
I'm ready for the duel.
You want to fight? Okay, let's do it.
Let the clash of steel ring out beneath the infinite sky.
Wait for me here, Sybil. I won't be long.
I hope we get an autosave.
hopes that his adversary will not hold back his blows.
Oh, you can count on it.
Has never before battled an adversary with such power, and he believes that he could be that which is needed to change the course of this war.
You fight pretty good yourself.
Where'd you learn your moves?
Where did you learn your moves? I can't believe you learned to fight like that in this backwater.
The knight has traveled far and fought many battles. He has only lived in this village for a short time.
Why do you stay here?
What are you doing in the middle of these swamps when you could be making a difference on the battlefield?
The knight has fought a great many battles, but he feels he can be more useful protecting those who have nothing left.
I have to go.
I have to go. I'm glad we could test each other's mettle. It was fun.
Before his adversary rushes off to fight other battles, the knight has a question for him. He wishes to know if the freeborn blades would like him to join them.
I can ask the captain for you.
I'm not the one who decides who joins the company, but I can ask the captain for you.
He has thought long on it, and wishes it would be so.
Well, that's great. I'll ask him, but I can't promise you anything.
800 experience. Suggest to the captain of the Freeborn Blades that he recruit Randval. Win the duel against Randval. The duel is completed. And I got a sword called the Guardian, I think. Yes. Recycle. There we go. Yep, the duel is finished. The recruitment of Randval. Suggest to the captain of the Freeborn Blades that he recruit Randval. Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Where's Sybil? I want her back.
Sybil, can I...
Yes?
Come with me.
I need your help.
If you want.
Awesome. Can I bring more than one person with me?
Relmar, you got a minute?
Yes?
Want to come along with me?
I need your expertise. Will you come with me?
Of course I will. Lead the way.
No, you can only have one. It's kind of what I thought, but...
Sybil, can I...
Yes?
Come with me.
I need your...
If you want.
I want a healer. Her offensive magic isn't great, but... Where is the captain? Probably in the actual Freeborn Blade camp. Now that the... what the hell was that? Because the, excuse me. Yeah, must be. What's up, bro?
Gods, these people are amateurs. This village is about as secure as your granny's underwear. Not a single watchman at his post. It's worse than I'd imagined.
I'll deal with this, Captain.
Good. I'm counting on you. Remember, if you screw this up, we'll all be joining the ranks of the Deadwalker army as soon as their scouts find this place.
Captain, you asked for us to help the villagers?
You wanted the Freeborn Blades to help the villagers. Is that still happening?
As long as we have to stay here, yes. Why?
I'm looking for the beast that's terrorizing the villagers.
The villagers told me about a beast. I have to find its lair.
Hawk talked to me about that a while ago. He said he'd found some suspicious-looking tracks that led back to the northern swamps.
I'll go and follow the tracks. Where's Hawk?
No idea. I sent him off to scout that part of the swamp, but he hasn't reported back yet.
Captain, I wanted to ask.
Captain, I wanted to ask.
Can we trust the scribes?
Do you really think we should be trusting these Red Scribes?
Vulcan, I'm not going to try and make this pretty. These are tough times. Thanks to this cursed war, our list of potential clients is shrinking faster than my dick when I jump into an ice bath. I get it, that after what happened in the temple, you'd like to send them all packing. This whole demon business is complicated. But we are mercenaries after all is said and done. We're not a charity. We're only as good as our clients. And you know, even if they did screw things up back there, they were right to try and find some way to beat the Ice Lords. What's the alternative? Lie down and wait to freeze?
Thanks to them, we all nearly bought it back at the temple. I'm not even convinced it was an accident.
You have a point. And since we don't want to finish up as a pile of bodies under a snowdrift, we're going to keep a sharp eye on them from now on.
How are the Freeborn Blades holding up?
Do you think the company is going to make it?
Of course. The Blades have always come through. They've existed for more than 2 centuries. They won't give up now. Not during my watch. But to tell you the truth, we're not looking too fresh. Not with the losses we took back in the temple. And as for new recruits, it's been what? A year or more since we found anyone worthwhile.
Most of us were recruited when the war began. And there aren't many of us left. The only available recruits now are either cowards, deserters, or kids.
If we're gonna hold this village, we're going to have to do it using the locals. Even though most of them look like they couldn't organize a party in a brewery. As soon as we've recovered a bit, we'll break camp and head for Carol Pass. I already sent some of the Blades ahead to see if they could find any new recruits. With a bit of luck, they'll come up with something better than one-armed, no-legged trolley rollers.
Why did we fall back to the swamp?
Why did we fall back to the swamp?
The Red Scribes knew of this place and said that we'd be safe here for a while. And apart from a few repulsive beasties creeping around outside the walls, it's actually quite peaceful. I don't think I'd buy a house here, though. Would you? So we'll heal our wounded, try and learn what's happening to you, and then get the hell out of here.
Can we talk about something else? I might have found us a new recruit.
Captain, just fought a duel with Ranvil, the guardian of the village. And before you start yelling about wasted energy, I want you to know that it was him that insisted on it. He's one hell of a fighter. He hits you like he was chopping down a tree, and he can take a blow and shake it off. He wants to join the Blades.
I have the feeling that every new recruit I take on these days is headed straight for the cemetery. But considering the losses we've suffered, I suppose I can't refuse. Bring him here to me. I'll check him out.
I'm on it, sir.
I'm leaving.
Suggest to the captain of the Freeborn Blades that he recruit Ranvil is done. Introduce Ranvil to the captain. So I think that means I need to have Ranvil in my party. And we'll do that after a jump cut. And we're back. Oh, goodness. Alright. Let's go get Ranvil and introduce him to the captain. I was also looking over the achievement list. Whatever the next axe and hammer and sword I find, I guess I could do the sword right now, but the point is there are achievements for killing 25 enemies each with those, and if I'm not investing in those skill trees, those are actually going to be easiest to get right here at the beginning. So I should probably grind those achievements out sooner rather than later, so stay alert. We'll be doing that with the respawning enemies at, the easiest possible point. Alright, let's take Randval and introduce him to the captain, like we said we would.
The mercenary salutes you, knight.
About you joining the Freeborn Blades.
I talked with the captain. He wants to see you.
Come on, follow me.
Come on, follow me.
Randval has joined.
Vulcan, I do love our little chats, but shouldn't you be doing something?
I might have found us a new recruit.
Captain, this is Randval. He talks funny, but he can kick ass.
So, it's Randval, is it?
That is the knight's name. How can he prove his valor to you?
Alrighty then. I'm glad you warned me that he talks a bit funny. Right then, laddie. All you have to do is fight a duel with me. And do your best.
It will be an honor to fight with a man who they say has never been beaten.
If you think you can flatter me into letting you off lightly, forget about it. Like I said, do your best.
The knight hopes that he will be the first to vanquish him. He will not hold back his blows.
That's more like it. Let's see what you've got, laddie. Not bad. Not bad at all. Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, my boy. We were starting to be seriously short of fighters worthy of the name, and you fight like a man. Though you're a ways off from beating me. Vulcan! He's your recruit. You can take care of him. Go on. Away with you.
Welcome to the Freeborn Blades, friend. Don't take it so hard. The entry fight is a humiliation we all had to go through. Me included.
The captain deserves his post and his reputation. He is an exceptional warrior. The knight will be proud to serve under his orders. After such a combat, the knight will need to rest for a moment. He asks that his friend, and now brother, come to find him when he has need.
Okay. See you later.
Introduce Randval to the captain. Randval has left the group. Recruitment of Randval is done. Okay, so let me look at my side quests again. We still have On Safari with Sybil active, and now we're down to just problems of stewardship. So let's grab Sybil again and go talk to the steward. Anyway, like I was saying, there are lots of achievements, kind of like Mass Effect, when I had to make sure I actually used all the different skills. There are achievements for kills with swords, axes, hammers, crossbow, and traps. If I'm not going to be aggressively investing in each of those, they're going to be a lot easier to take care of in the early game than later on. Let's see, Sybil hangs out in here. Oh, who's this? Fibald. I think he's new.
It's frustrating. I feel completely useless here.
That's it. Alright.
Sybil, can I talk to you?
Yes?
Come with me.
I need your help. Come with me.
If you want.
And that's easy enough. I don't have to kill 50 enemies, I just have to fire 50 bolts. But I have to kill 50 enemies with with a warhammer, with a sword, with an axe. I have to spring 20 traps. I have to light my enemies on fire 50 times. I also have to make 100 objects. So I need to work on that as well. Anyway. Yeah, that's pretty straightforward. And then the rest are just for, like, the multiple decisions you can make at a playthrough. Alright, let's talk to the steward.
Mr. Vulcan, what brings you here?
I'd like to know some more about this village.
I've got a few questions I'd like to ask about this village.
I imagine there are few who are better placed than myself to answer them.
How come it's you running this village?
How come it's you that's running the show here?
What a question. Because, my friend, someone has to. You imagine I'm doing this for my amusement, perhaps? Doubtless you wish it was someone else. The chief of the watch has trouble organizing 3 peasants. Our dear apothecary is evidently keen to give succor to any and every poor soul who wanders into the healing house. And regardless of your reputation, the people of this village would never trust outsiders such as yourself, or even the Red Scribes. So yes, it is indeed I who command here. The one-time steward of the hunting lodge of Valvenor, now leader of this shithole.
Well, hell. Glad we got that cleared up.
Anything I should know about the villagers?
What can you tell me about the people of Valvenor?
Before the war, there were just a few families here. Hunters and craftsmen, mostly. These days, they survive as best they can, husbanding their animals and digging up the puny vegetables they've managed to grow. Few dare to venture outside the walls. These woods are fruitful, but more perilous than ever before, and most of these folk know nothing of arms.
But you've got your guards.
They hardly qualify as an armed militia. Of the few that remain, most are sturdy farmers whom we have entrusted with some kind of weapon. Most of the real fighters left the village as soon as war ended. The others died while out on patrol. Here, with
Excuse me.
Real experience is Mason, the head of the guard. Sadly, the man is a walking beer keg, who could not give a dog's fart for what his men are about.
Where do all these refugees come from?
Who are all those refugees that you're keeping outside the walls?
The war with the Ice Lords has driven many from their homes and villages. Alas, it would seem that some of them found their way here. I have tried to accommodate as many as we can, and provide as much comfort as possible, but I fear we can do little more. We are reaching the end of our reserves, and relations between the refugees and the villagers are becoming strained.
The refugees can't all be dead weight. Some of them have got to be useful.
Oh, if only. Believe me, I would be the first to welcome them. These peasants have been fleeing from town to town and from camp to camp for months. The best and strongest of them perished in battles, somewhere along the way. I must deal with the leftovers. I put the biggest of them in the watch, but they are of little use.
What is the healing house?
The healing house? It's a pretty good thing for your village, huh?
If you say so. As time has gone by, the healing house has drawn refugees to the swamps in ever greater numbers, and dissuaded some malingerers from returning to their families. When it opened its doors a year ago, the sense of relief was palpable. It was run by a couple, an elf doctor and his apothecary wife, who clearly were no strangers to the healing arts. Thanks to them, we were spared many plagues. But as the war dragged on, the endless tide of refugees continued to flow through our gates until we could harbor no more. 6 months ago, our worst nightmares were fulfilled. Our elf doctor fell ill and died. Since then, Mirana has soldiered on without rest, alone. I do not know how much longer she can keep going. The refugees just keep on coming. And I fear that poor woman is beginning to crumble under the strain. It's not surprising.
You got a forge here?
I need a blacksmith. Do you have one here?
With none more qualified, I asked Asiel to take over the village forge. I suppose I should warn you, he's quite a tricky character. He has a huge ego and is stubborn as an ox. Before the war, he was a sort of artist. He crafted jewelry and sculptures from metal. Despite running the forge, one could hardly call him a blacksmith. But he's the only one here who had even the vaguest notion of how to repair a shovel or straighten a blade.
Let's change the subject. You got some work for me?
The captain wants me to help your village. You got a job I can do?
With our shortages of food and fighting men, our worn-out equipment and the growing lines at the healing house, I cannot deny our village is sorely in need of help. Sadly, I fear that these are not the sort of problems you are used to dealing with, unless I'm much mistaken.
Maybe I'll surprise you.
About the healing house.
So what's the problem with the healing house?
Quite simply, Miranda cannot keep up. She spends every waking minute giving out supplies to the refugees and refuses to admit that she cannot help everyone. She thinks she's fooling me. I have heard rumors that her food stock is running low. Unsurprisingly, the crowds outside are becoming restless. I believe they wish to continue handing out our food reserves as though they were unlimited. This is not the case, and thus, it is not an option.
So, you want someone to put her down?
Why, I never suggested any such thing. I just wish she would see reason, for all our sakes. But I have asked nothing of you. I was merely answering your question.
You know your sentries are losers?
Your guards... How can I put this? At first, I thought they were disobeying orders. Now I think maybe they don't even understand them. If you're stupid and incompetent, you should be digging turnips, not taking care of security.
You're beginning to worry me. Is it really that bad?
Are you kidding me? The state of their weapons is enough to make you cry. Maybe they'd be good for splitting logs.
Personally, I'm not capable of judging the aptitude of our sentries, but their poor results speak for themselves. Doubtless, you should share your observations with Mason, the chief of the watch. I should warn you, however, that he is of a somewhat stubborn nature.
Wouldn't be the first I've seen.
I need to know more about this beast.
I need the reports about this beast that attacked the villagers.
I fear I am unable to be of help. I'm still not entirely convinced that it even exists. All I know is that several villagers have vanished. One villager is at present in the doctor's care, following a supposed encounter with the said beast. These swamps are crawling with dangers. There is nothing to suggest anything out of the ordinary. The refugees are always inventing horror stories in an attempt to force us to open our gates and let them inside.
It might be worth checking it out. You said you lost one of your patrols, right?
That is so. you should speak with Ranvol. He was most anxious to go out and hunt the beast down, but we needed him here. Now that we have more able bodies to guard our gates, I imagine he would be keen to pick up the scent once more.
Let's change the subject. We'll talk later.
We'll talk again later.
Talk to Mirana, the dispensary healer. Talk to the steward about Valvenor's problems is done. Talk to Mason, the guard chief. Well, I know where they are. Everybody's a dick until it's time for their quest, I guess. Yeah, so that one's advanced. It's still part of problems of stewardship, which is just fine. And we'll go talk to Mason first. Arbitrarily.
Do I have to spill it out, or should I just put my boot in your arse? Clear off!
Would you just shut your stupid mouth for 2 seconds, please? The steward sent me here to help you.
Oh, that's all I need. Don't he think I got enough on my plate? Now he sends me some ore blade from God's nowhere. Hey, as long as it ain't me is paying for you, hey? You want to help? Knock yourself out. But I warn you, there's plenty to do.
Get to the point before I set your breath on fire.
All right, take it easy. No need to get nasty, eh? You want to help? Yes or no?
Keep talking.
Well, for a start, you could try and find one of my patrols that's gone missing. At first, I thought maybe one of those half-wits was sleeping it off under a tree somewhere. But it's been a while now. Maybe something bad happened to him in the swamp.
I guess I could go back and check.
What a coincidence. That's exactly what I was going to ask you. After that, well, I suppose a pro like you, I guess it would be useful helping out the sentries. It won't be luxury. I don't know if you've seen what we're supposed to fight with, but, wow, if you can have a word with your quartermaster to see what he can do for my lads, you have my blessing.
The benediction of a drunk. Better and better.
It's what all us fucking mercenaries dream of. All right, I'll see what I can do.
Right. We may be living in the arsehole of Virgil, but being armed like a bunch of tramps we can do without. And while you're at it, when you've been to the forge, you'll probably feel like letting off steam a bit. Why don't you go and take it out on my lads?
What do you mean?
Kick their arses so they can't sit down and get drunk instead of patrolling. And show them a couple of tricks while you're at it. A bit of training. Couldn't do no harm.
I might just start with that. I like a good ass kicking.
Your men can't afford to keep their thumbs in their asses. It's time to teach them how to use those weapons.
Knock yourself out, Payblade. I'll go and shake him awake.
Okay. Talk to Mason, the guard chief is done. Find Mason's men who disappeared in the swamp. Find a smith. Talk to Mason to train the greenhorn. Train the new recruits. Oh wow, okay. So that's done. The disappeared guards, the guards' equipment. Alright, well, let's talk to Mason first. Wow. I didn't expect that. But alright.
Perfect. I couldn't have done better. I reckon the lesson is gonna leave a few marks this time. Have you got time to go again, while they're still warmed up?
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Let's go.
Train the new recruits is done. Fight the new recruits again. Yeah. I gotta worry about the archers. Clearly.
Even so, they are making progress. If you whack them enough times, they remember how to defend themselves. Are you up for giving them one last lesson?
Fine.
One last lesson.
Fight the new recruits again. Give the new guard recruits a last combat lesson. Achievement unlocked. It's a trap. Set 20 traps and have them sprung. Crud, I forgot what block is. That's why I'm so non-functional with the sword. Traps are actually pretty good though, like, I shouldn't forget that. What is block? That's gonna be important. Space! Space is parry. Thank you. It's like, what the fuck is parry? I got whooped again. That's right, I remember how to parry now. This is why I think we should do these achievements at the beginning, before the enemies get harder on the skills I'm not investing in. I really need to work on getting better. kind of funny that they could actually kill me. Well, that was 2. I bet burning weapon will help. Maybe I should find smaller groups of enemies to try and do this on, though. Damn it. They keep getting me. It's ridiculous. I sure wish Vulcan was better at targeting. He won't stay on the ones with the low health. Alright.
Nice job. Of course, they'll hate you for a while, but what they learned here today will save their lives one day.
My pleasure. I like this way of saving lives.
Life reducer, an axe. Talk to Mason to train the greenhorn. Give the recruits one last combat lesson. The greenhorn's training. All done. Alright. So we got the trap achievement. We're obviously still working on crossbow and sword. But hey, we're making progress. Yeah, Greenhorn's training is done. Alright, so the disappeared guards will go looking in the swamp, I guess. Find a smith. Alright, so if we've been paying attention, which I have, it's me, we know that there are 2 smiths in the camp. Let's talk to Renko. I believe he's probably got a better attitude and is a more talented smith anyway.
Greetings, mercenary.
We want to make the guards' equipment better.
Seeing as how you're pretty resourceful, I figure you know everybody here. Is there a smith somewhere around?
Yes, there is one. Me.
I should have guessed. Another con?
Not at all. Listen, I understand you might think I'm some kind of charlatan, but before being an outcast starving in the worst hole in the swamp, I was a blacksmith. The problem is that I don't have any forge or equipment. Otherwise, believe me, I wouldn't be out here begging just to survive.
Why not use the village forge?
I tried that, but that idiot, the so-called artist that works there, almost took my head off and started throwing everything that wasn't nailed down at me. No, what I really need to work right is my equipment, my forge cart.
And where is your cart?
At the other end of the swamp, unfortunately. Here, look. I'll show you on your map.
I'll get it back for you. You'll help me fix up the guards' equipment. Agreed?
Agreed. On one condition, of course. That you also get me some supplies. Let's see. There aren't that many guards, so about 10 pieces of raw metal, 10 good leather hides, and 10 pieces of refined metal should do the trick.
Well, I hope with all that, our guards will be well equipped.
Find a smith. Find Renko's cart and forge. Collect 10 pieces of raw metal for Renko. Collect 10 hides of leather for Renko. Collect 5 pieces of refined metal for Renko. Collect the materials Renko needs for his forge. Alright, well there was a lot to that. Find Renko's cart and forge. Okay.
Greetings, mercenary.
Will you be able to help me improve the guards' equipment?
I'd love to. In fact, if I could, I'd probably already be doing it. The problem is that I don't have any forge or equipment. Otherwise, believe me, I wouldn't be out here begging just to survive.
Why not use the village forge?
I tried that, but that idiot doesn't know what I...
And...
At the...
I'll get it back.
Agreed. Let's see.
Well...
Alright. So we gotta do the, we gotta do the cart quest first. I'm guessing it's this way. Oh, apparently it's in the southern delta. Not, in fact, out where we've already been.
So, you have returned. What is your desire?
Have you heard anything about a beast that has been attacking the villagers?
The steward said there was a beast attacking the villagers.
This is what one hears, yes. Something is wandering through the swamps, devouring the reckless. The saddest part is that it's often the guards who end up lost, along with their equipment. Meanwhile, we are overrun with refugees who serve no useful purpose at all.
I have need of your services. I want you to improve the guards' equipment.
Get that forge cooking. You've got work to do. I don't want to see so much as a dent in the guard's armor. And we need some weapons with edges that will actually cut something.
I don't even have enough materials to forge a single sword worthy of the name. Sorry, but if what you want were possible, it would have been done long ago. What's more, I'm not really a blacksmith. If you want an assembly line of weapons, I wouldn't count too much on me.
So all I need to do is find another blacksmith.
So all I need to do is find another blacksmith.
Ha! Good luck with that. If they were as common as that, Valvenor would have had its own long ago. And I could happily return to creating my statues.
I'll be back.
That's an excellent idea.
Cool. Alright, let's talk to Mirana then. Renko's card is in the southern delta, so we actually have to go to a new map to do that quest.
Haven't you anything better to do than bother me?
Hang on a sec. The steward himself sent me here to give you a hand.
Wonderful. I've been after him for months to get me some help, and he sends me an armed ape. You practice medicine, I presume? Your tools seem rather barbaric.
I do pretty well with my tools. I know how to concoct potions.
Listen, if you show me the recipes, I could probably help you cook up some remedies for these people.
Good idea, and it would be my pleasure to help you.
That's very kind of you. Unfortunately, what we are missing most are the ingredients. In fact, there is something that you could doubtless do for me. I'm worried about my assistant Haymond. I haven't seen him for a while now, and I fear he might have gone into the swamps to look for the plants I need. We're forced to venture further and further in to find the plants we need. With all that's been going on lately, I forbade him from going back out alone, but the boy is nothing if not stubborn.
Stubborn? Yeah, I hate people like that.
Please find him. He's a good boy. He's done nothing but help others since he arrived. Without him, the House of Healing would be a house of death.
If I'm gonna be slogging through the swamps anyway, might as well take a look around and try to bring back the plants you need too, right? You got any drawings or descriptions?
Yes, that's a good idea. I would be grateful to you. But above all, try to bring back my assistant Haymond in one piece. He is your priority. For the rest, basically, I need food, medicinal herbs, and of course, I wouldn't say no to a few pre-prepared potions. All of our stock seems to disappear so quickly. I'll give you the parchment that I made for Haymond to help you recognize the specimens I need. He knows them by heart now, after so many trips.
Right. Plants, potions, chow, and one assistant. If I come across any elven tea, would you like a cup of that too?
That would be lovely.
I'd like some information about Valvenor.
I'd like some information about the village and its inhabitants.
What do you think of the steward?
So what do you think of the steward?
Oh, don't get me started on that.
Too late if you ask me.
If I were you, I'd be wary of him. He is not as honorable as he would have you believe. Know that before the war, he was just a lackey, bowing and scraping before all the people of power that passed by. Due to a superior's mistake, he thinks he's in charge now. He's a latecomer, nothing but an opportunist, ready to do anything to keep his little piece of power. I've had the misfortune of experiencing his sense of priorities. When he no longer has a use for you, he lets you know you're not welcome.
The steward's doing an okay job.
We're at war. The situation is not easy. He seems to be doing all right.
At what price? By herding refugees like animals? By not giving them even the minimum to survive? By eliminating those who oppose him?
Who oppose him?
I didn't found the House of Healing alone. It was with my husband, Ron. He was not a great warrior, nor a renowned strategist. His only gift was for healing. He was my teacher before becoming my husband. The steward welcomed us with open arms. We took care of his men, his villagers. Then the refugees started arriving in greater numbers. Too many for Chambriad, who ended up closing the gates and pretending that these people simply didn't exist. Ron was furious. He tried to make him understand that he would heal everyone, no matter what. And if the self-proclaimed leader of the village wasn't capable of taking care of anyone other than himself, that he would do it. A few days later, I came back from the swamps to discover Ron in agony in the healing house. He had been poisoned.
You think this was the work of the steward?
Who else would have reason to kill him? Everyone loved him and counted on him. Chambriad thought that without him, the healing house would close and that the number of refugees would diminish naturally. Unfortunately for him, I will continue my husband's good work even unto my dying breath. He gave me an even greater reason to keep going.
Interesting allegation.
Healing house is a waste of time and resources. These people are but dead weight.
Why help the refugees?
Who are these refugees you're helping?
They are the outcasts of the war. Those who didn't have the privilege of dying in combat, or who lack knowledge of the arts of the forge. No one wants them. If I don't help them, nobody will.
You're right, we all need to help each other.
You're doing the right thing. Taking care of them is good for everybody's morale. The ones who do the fighting want to know they aren't doing it for nothing, and that their people won't be abandoned while they're gone.
That is far from the only reason. But I'm very happy to hear you say it.
What did you do before the war?
What did you do before the war?
Before the war? Please don't tell me you're naive enough to believe that this war only started 10 years ago.
That's what everybody says.
I come from Shorelin, a faraway land in the north that the Ice Lords probably wiped off the map some time ago. Because no one is left to write the history books, other than a fanatical cult more interested in arcane magic than in human science or medicine.
That's just not fair. The Red Scribes are interested in every kind of knowledge. Each has his own speciality, of course. But the war has simply imposed certain priorities. And what is more important, we are not a cult.
If you say so, young lady. The fact remains that the war is far more ancient than that. For as long as I can remember, I have always known war. I was only just learning to walk when Marshal Winters invaded my homeland.
I have heard of this Ice Lord. Winters the Bloodthirsty.
I wandered along the main roads for years, always heading further south, staying just ahead of the advancing Deadwalkers. First with my sister and a family of neighbors. Then just with my sister. Then all alone. Until the day I met the man who would become my husband. A remarkable elf who taught me how to heal and how to love and help those near me. But after years of fleeing and ending up here in this isolated village so in need of healers, we decided to put down roots. Roan died 8 months ago, leaving me alone and in charge of the House of Healing that we had built together.
Let's change the subject. Have you heard anything about a beast that lives in the marshes?
Have you heard any rumors about a beast wandering around in the marshes?
They are not rumors. There is something in these marshes, and I have a patient in a coma that confirms it.
Something? What does that mean? Where can I find it?
I don't know exactly what it is. The wounds don't resemble anything seen around here before. What you seek is large, powerful, and obviously has enormous claws at its disposal. The wounded man was found west of the swamps, crawling towards the village. If you really wish to fall upon that beast, that would be a good place to start. But bear in mind the possibility that it may be the beast which falls upon you.
I have gold to spend.
I'd like to see what you have to sell.
Okay, so she sells some components. And that seems to be all, but that's fine. Alright, talk to Miranda, the dispensary healer. I got a hammer. Guard breaker. Problems of stewardship is done. Alright, new objectives. Collect food for the refugees. Collect food for the dispensary. Take 5 healing potions to Mirana. Find Mirana's assistant who disappeared in the swamp. Take Heyman to Mirana. Wow, okay. A lot of side quests. Something to beat iron with. Alright, humanitarian services. Collect food for the refugees, find Mirana's assistant who disappeared in the swamp. The dispensary resources. Collect food for the dispensary, take 5 healing potions to Mirana. Take Heyman to Mirana. Alright, so what do we have here? Life reducer. Well, it's better than the default sword. Guard breaker. Well, we'll use these for the achievements. We'll probably just grind on small chrysalids out in the first swamp area. Let's talk to Mason again. I wonder if we can actually get dialogue from him.
My favorite fucking troublemaker.
I'd like to know more about the people here.
A barfly like you probably knows a lot about the people here, I'm guessing, huh?
Flattery will get you everywhere.
How come you never went to fight in the war?
You look like you can probably handle a sword. How come you didn't get recruited?
Oh, just unlucky, I suppose. Last time an Alliance recruiter come through, I was stuck in the crapper. Worst dose of the shits I ever had.
Forget I even asked.
So, I never got to the front. I can't tell you how much I regret that.
What do you think of the steward?
What's your opinion of the steward?
My opinion? Tell the truth, I never liked how he talks, like an elf reject. But he does what he can. And honestly, he manages better than I do. Him and me, we ain't always seen eye to eye. For example, if it had been up to me, I'd have driven them refugees back into the swamps. And fuck what that bleeding art apothecary says.
How's it going with the refugees?
How is it going with the refugees?
I'm not a monster. I got nothing against sheltering a few brave souls. Most of my lads are blokes who are here to protect their families. But enough is enough. I just can't protect everybody. You can't squeeze a whole city into a fucking life raft.
How well do you know Randval?
How well do you know Randval?
Wow, not enough to trust him with his airs and all. The night with this and the night with that. Having said that, he has saved us from a few accidents in the village. He's a damn good fighter, and he don't ask questions. Balls of steel, that one. Sometimes I think he must have a death wish or something. If that's so, he ain't taking the easy way out. But then, who gives a toss? When he turned up a few weeks ago, it certainly took some of the pressure off. But he acts like his shit don't stink. Obviously, me and the lads aren't good enough for the likes of him.
Do you know anything about a beast that's been terrorizing the villagers?
A lot of the villagers have been complaining about a wild beast in the area. Do you know anything?
Who knows if it's just one animal? The swamp's always been a bit dangerous. But since you want to know, one of my lads on the west gate swears up and down he saw something. And a patrol found another one tore up pretty bad. He's still in the healing house. Considering the bunch of cowards we got hiding in the village, if I was you, I wouldn't pay much mind to what they says. Or at least, don't go wasting your time until you got real proof.
I'll come back later.
I'm going.
Okay. So we can work on Mirana's quest at the, just by heading to the inn. Let's go to the cellar over here. Rations. Collect food for the dispensary. I like it. Food rations that Miranda will find very handy for feeding the refugees. I'm getting more exploding traps too, which I'm actually becoming much keener on. keep forgetting I can sprint. Oh.
There should be enough food. We'll see what Miranda says when we get back to the healing house.
Take the provisions to Mirana. Mm-hmm.
Here, I got those ingredients you wanted, and some things to eat as well.
This is very generous of you. I promise you this will save many lives.
What is the point? Useless as bandaging a corpse.
That just leaves the health potions. I brought you
Excuse me.
Yes, we are making progress. Is there anything else?
I'll leave you now.
I'll take my leave. See you later.
Take the provisions to Mirana. What? I've got potions, don't I? Yeah, 11 of them. Take 5 healing potions to Mirana. Okay, come on.
Vulcan, unless I miss my guess. What brings you here?
Let's talk about the problems.
Let's talk about your healing house.
About your food reserves and your stock of cures.
I found you a few health potions.
There we go. Here are 5 health potions for you.
Here, I hope these will help cover your needs for a little while.
They will prove very useful, I promise you. And thank you.
You got everything you need, I think.
Thank you for your help. But don't fool yourself. With all of these refugees, I never have everything we need. If you ever have any extra food or ingredients, I'd be happy to buy them from you.
I'll keep that in mind.
Let's change the subject.
I'll take my leave. See you later.
Algandrian, an axe. Collect food is done. Healing potions are done. The dispensary resources quest is done. Nice. Okay, good. So, in terms of axes, what's better, Life Reducer or Algandrian? Life Reducer. So we'll recycle Algandrian. Okay. I kind of like her healing magic, but I admit I haven't tried the other companions, but that is immaterial, because we are finally ready to head to the Southern Delta, which means I am finally ready to end this episode. As one might expect, there was a lot to do in Valvenor, our first actual town, but that's going to do it for this episode of Let's Play Bound by Flame. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, I hope you'll give it a like and consider subscribing to the channel. Okay, so I automatically switch to Ranger stance if I try stealth mode. Good to know. I hope you'll give the video a like and consider subscribing to my channel if you enjoyed the video. If you're interested in discussing this or any of my other content, the best place is my Discord server. There's a link to the Discord in the video description that I've set never to expire. Ooh, interesting. Eastern Zone, Path to Valvenor. That being said, Discord's got a bad habit of expiring my link anyway. In the event that has happened, please feel free to contact me directly, and I'll be happy to send you an invite myself. If you are interested in supporting me or the channel, the best way, apart from liking and subscribing, is through my Patreon page. The Patreon supporters get to nominate and or vote for the games they would like to see completed on the channel. About to wrap up System Shock 2 in that slot. Got one episode to go. Once a game is chosen, I play it through front to back in my very completionist style, and once a game's finished, I have my supporters choose another. So if that is of interest to you, if you'd like to get involved or learn the details, the link to the Patreon is also in the video description. Regardless, I really do want to thank you for watching. I am grateful for your time and attention. I appreciate you. Hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you soon. Take care. Bye-bye.